His wife gets the
That's okay.
the theory, the guy thing, that the theory before everything guy had.
The thing. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, his wife gets that.
Oh my goodness. No, it's ALS, isn't it? It's a mild. No, it's a severe form of ALS.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Kristen. I'm going to be the facilitator tonight at our support group for caregivers. So I think that what we're going to do first is just get to know each other. We'll go around the room and say your name and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Erica and I'm from Atlanta.
My name's Kristen, I'm from Chattanooga.
My name's Andrea, I'm from North Carolina.
My name is Natalie and I'm originally from California.
Okay, from all over the place. Well, welcome. I'm glad you all are here. From Atlanta, it's kind of a drive. So is California, it's a drive. So, first what we're going to do is kind of talk about our expectations of the group. I know we're all here for a similar purpose, and that is to talk about being a caregiver. All of you are busy, have a lot going on, so I think that it's a great way to start is to see where everybody's at and what you're looking for. We can kind of do some popcorn style. Whoever would like to share first their expectations.
Well, I mean, like I said, my name is Natalie and I feel very alone and I'm divorced because my husband didn't want to stick around for our little girl who's severely autistic and she was born paralyzed from the waist down, so it's a struggle and he couldn't deal with it, so I feel like no one can understand what I'm going through. So I need someone to understand what I'm going through.
Okay, have that support.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing.
I guess for me, I take care of my sister Alice who has Alzheimer's, and it's just me and her in the house. I don't have a husband. The last boyfriend I had was like 10 years ago, like a real boyfriend. I've been on dates, but they haven't lasted because I can't do a follow-up. So I'm just hoping to get out of this, people to talk about it with. I guess we're mostly women, so I'm sure someone can relate to me about something as simple as that.
Yeah.
Like I said, my name is Andrea, and I'm a full-time caregiver for my son, who he got into a motorcycle accident a while ago, and so he's been paralyzed, and it's just hard because my husband passed away a few years ago before the accident, so we're just really alone, and I just wanted like a support system where I can talk to people about, taking care of like incapacitated family members, I guess.
How was your son paralyzed?
He was riding his motorcycle and a car ran into it.
Where is he paralyzed from?
The waist down.
Okay, so similar.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah, that's good that we're already finding that connection here and having that support so early on. That's really great.
Hi, I'm Kristen again. I'm a full-time caregiver for my husband's father. He's just getting older and just can't do the daily activities that he was once able to do.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for sharing your expectations. I hope that we're able to meet those over the next few weeks that we're meeting together. The next thing I think that we should talk about is some group rules. My first rule that I kind of think is to have eye contact when people are talking, just so that kind of helps you to understand that people are listening to you and to kind of have that support. And another thing is confidentiality. So what we talk about here is between us. You're welcome to talk about what you said to other people outside the group, but just what you shared. Is there any other rules that you all have that you'd like to maybe add to our group discussion?
Well, for me to be able to come here, I have to get a sitter, and I need a specialized babysitter for my daughter because, she's very particular, because of her disabilities. So I have to pay her a lot of money and I can only be gone for a certain amount of time. So starting on time and ending on time is very important for me to be able to come here.
Okay, so timeliness,
Yes.
that's good, yeah. Is everybody okay with that?
Mhm.
Yes, being on time, okay. Any other thoughts?
Another thing is that, like, I don't want people to be on their phones, cause like, it's only such a short amount of time, we start on time and we leave on time. I mean, what do we need from our phone, unless it's from, example, if your sitter calls, you should pick up, cause it could be emergency.
I appreciate that. I think
Yeah.
it's good not to have our cell phones, but I also feel like I should preserve the right to have it at least on vibrate in case there's an
Mhm.
emergency.
I totally agree, yeah, but like if your friend texts you, what's up, just tell them in 30 minutes what's up.
Okay, all right, that's good, that's a great rule. Yeah, is everybody okay with that one? Any other ones before we continue? Okay, so eye contact, confidentiality, timeliness, and being respectful of your phones. Okay, and then another thing is just to be respectful when other people are sharing, to listen and not interrupt. Is that okay? All right. So what we're going to do now is talk about what brought you here. I know most of you have already kind of shared a little bit. So how about everybody pair up with the person they're sitting next to and just kind of tell your story a little bit more. Is that okay? We'll do that for a couple minutes.
You know, she's 5 now, but she's 2. Also, her husband's not.
So you're more of a
Yeah.
receptionist rather than.
A little bit more careful, you know, I know it's, you know, as I sit and become, but my parents passed away.
That's pretty good.
It's just
Yeah.
so my husband passed away a little bit ago, but really I kind of just want the ways to go because my son was born paralyzed, but he's been paralyzed and he's just struggling a lot with it. You know, he used to be able to do all these things, and he's older too. He's a young man. He's not like a little boy, so it's just very hard for him to rely on me for everything. And you know, he's struggling with if he wants to do college and like how is that gonna work? Because you know you can't. He's hooked up to machines. He has a big wheelchair, like he's already moving. It's just very hard because we live away from ours and we and like my mom said it's lonely because you know you can't break.
I'll give you just another couple minutes to wrap up, a couple seconds.
So you know they have to have her to.
All right, did everybody get a chance to share?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now what we'll have you do is maybe just share a brief summary of your partners, what you learned about their story, where they come from, and maybe a little bit of their struggles. Just nice little summary. We'll start and go around the circle this way.
So she's taking care of her husband's father. The husband's at work all day, you know, to pay for his medical bills and pay for, you know, their life too. So it's really draining, and it's someone that, I mean, she didn't just meet him, but she married the husband, now she's taking care of the dad. It's not her dad, so she has to really put forth a lot more energy to like realize that, take care of one of her own.
Yeah.
It's just rough because he's starting to lose his hearing, so he can't hear very well. So you can't even have like a real conversation with him, and like being alone all day and just like having your mouth like shut and like not speaking. It's just
Yeah, so she's
like
dealing
it's
with that.
sad, yeah. And so and she takes care of him, makes sure that his feet is up and he's decently happy, even though you can't tell range of motions because he's just old. You don't know what's going on.
I experienced the same thing. You know, my little girl is nonverbal, so I don't talk to anyone all day. I'm just with her. If I don't talk to myself, I will go crazy. And so when I go out to the supermarket, so I guess I get that sitter
Yeah.
a couple times a week, I talk to everyone. I spend like so long talking to the cashier. People hate me because I'm taking so long in the line.
Thank you for sharing that. Well, we're gonna just keep working our way around the circle, and then,
Oh.
and maybe later we can kind of talk a little bit more about that. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and Erica was saying that she takes care of her sister Alice, who has dementia, Alzheimer's, yeah. And she has like a really strict routine that she follows every day, and makes it easier for her sister, but it's very boring for herself to do the same thing and just not be able to have very much time for herself
Mm-hmm.
throughout the day for the little things.
Yeah.
Well, like Natalie was saying earlier, you know, she's with her daughter by herself all day, and it's just her and her daughter, you know, she doesn't have family, and her husband left, and so she just gets very lonely, and so she's kind of looking for, you know, ways to cope with that, and like companionship, and like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
adult conversation.
Okay, yeah.
So what Andrea was sharing with me was that her husband recently passed away, but really what the biggest struggle is that her son is a young adult, so he experienced a lot of life not being paralyzed. So it's just, as a mother, it's painful for her to watch him struggle and not be able to do things that a young man would normally be doing, and he's just stuck in this wheelchair, so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Thank you, everybody, for being so open and vulnerable to talk to somebody about your story. So I heard a couple different themes that were happening in these conversations. Kristen had mentioned some time management. Does anybody else kind of talk about that? She mentioned that she struggles with that sometimes it's hard to find time for herself. Does anybody else have any struggles with that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, does anybody want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, the only time that I have completely, not really alone, because I'm running errands, so when she's with her sitter, I'm still running errands, and when I'm at home, I'm with her. But I have found that there's, at one point, if I'm not so exhausted in the night at the end of the day from taking care of her, that I will stay up just a little bit longer to read a book or read a chapter of a book, and that's, you know, that I have time. And sometimes I only can do it like twice a week, but, you know, it's something, you know, I try to do it because it keeps me sane.
Yeah. I see some head nods.
Yeah.
Is that some other similar things?
For me, so my son, he has a friends and stuff, so I'm with him all day, and so when he'll get his friends will visit him, a few of them will try to come at least once a week or something, because he's not mobile a lot, and so when his friends come, I try to just like let them hang out, you know, just simply because I know he gets tired of me too, and that's like the time where I find to myself, or I'll go like do stuff, maybe run errands, or just like sit with myself and like read or whatever like I'm up to at that moment.
I have a really hard time finding any time because I've had to quit my job to take care of my husband's father full time, and he works full time. So then when he gets home, he's exhausted. He doesn't want to take care of his dad. He needs time for himself so that he doesn't go crazy. But that makes me go crazy because I don't get the time.
So, do you guys have like a schedule?
Sometimes on the weekends when he doesn't work, he'll help out a little bit more so I can run, do the errands, but it's usually just errands and not so much.
Not so much as your time.
Yeah, my
To
time
go
is-
see your friends.
Yeah, it's time to get everything ready before next week.
So it's nice that you have some common ground here. Another thing that I heard during the time that you were sharing each other's stories was the loneliness. Is that another similar thing that Natalie had mentioned?
Yeah, I definitely feel lonely sometimes because Alice, like, she takes naps a lot. I don't know why, but she just gets tired. Yeah, so she takes naps a lot, and so then I have my time to do something, but I don't want to watch TV because it's too loud. she'll wake up and then I'll have to like be there with her, so I kinda just want alone time, so I'll read a book. But trying to concentrate reading a book has turned out tougher than it used to be. So I just make gourmet coffee and sit there and drink it and sit on the porch and that's it. But it's even lonelier that way, cause then I'm alone in my thoughts. So like it doesn't get better.
Yeah, so even that time that you're taking
Yeah.
to be alone.
Yeah, to
is-
do something I want to
Yeah.
do, which I enjoy making my gourmet coffee.
Mhm.
It's not that great, it's kind of like sad.
I totally get that, Erica. Like,
Mhm.
sometimes it's nice when I do get that, half hour to read my book chapter, but then sometimes, I'm sitting with my baby girl and I'm just like, we can't talk to each other. Who do I express myself to?
Yeah.
Like, what, I'm sitting there just alone with my thoughts and all my worries, and there's like nothing that she can do about it, and there's no adult,
Mhm.
to help me.
Yeah, I can't talk to Alice about anything that's like really like hard to understand or interesting, because then she'll just totally like lose the first sentence that I said, which was like the beginning, and makes it make sense, and at the end I can't get an opinion out of her because she hasn't developed one, because she doesn't remember what I'm talking about. It's hard, so if I say something to her, I have to say, look at that. She looks at it, end of conversation.
So they're having communication and having that conversation a little bit is hard. Do you all struggle with that, having a lack in communication?
Not so much, cause I mean, my son, he's old, he's like, he's a young man, but, lack of communication is when he's a little depressed, and so he'll just not wanna talk to me and he'll ignore me, or like if he does communicate, it's something mean, and something, but it gets hard, but, I mean, he's my son, so I love him, and it's hard, but, like, I'm not gonna communicate mean things back to him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's so brave of you. Like,
Thank you.
I feel like it's, because I love her so much, but I get so frustrated sometimes, but I couldn't say anything, mean either, and it's hard.
It is hard. Yeah. Do you have anything?
Not really the communication, so my husband, when he gets home from work, like I have someone that I can talk
Okay,
to, and so during the day, it's a little lonely, but it's just for a little bit, it's not.
But it's so good that you and your husband are still communicating.
Yeah, we make sure like in the evenings after we put him to bed, that we have a little time together to keep our relationship.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for sharing and taking the time to come and be open and talk about things that are hard, just dealing with all such different events, and so it can be difficult to come in and talk to a bunch of strangers. So what I'm going to do now is, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, well, my question is your comfort level. So 1 being extremely comfortable when you first started, and then 10 being not comfortable at all. So when you first came into the group, so kind of think back when you first walked in the door, what would, on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you put yourself?
Like an 8, maybe.
Okay.
You're that comfortable?
No, I just said 1 is extremely
Oh,
comfortable.
one is extremely.
One is
Oh,
very
I
comfortable.
misunderstood you, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I was like an 8 too.
Just because, I didn't know anyone yet, but now after getting to know it, I'm more comfortable, talking about my struggles, because like people are understanding like what I'm going through.
I was probably a 7, because I know if people are willing to come here and put themselves out there in that way, I should feel comfortable, but sometimes, and I was thinking on my drive over here, maybe people just want to make it a show about them, so I'm gonna wait it out, but everyone seems reasonable, which I'm not surprised in the end.
I'd say 7.
Okay, and has the comfort level gone down? I know that Andrea mentioned that, so.
Yeah, I definitely feel more comfortable. It's like I have a 3 now.
Good,
I'm like a 2 now.
good, all right. Well, I just want to thank everybody again for coming timing. Does this time next week work?
Yes.
Good. Alrighty, well, we will talk about some struggles some more and then maybe move towards a different topic next week. Okay. Thank you.